Welcome to Action Figure Wrestling. I'm Paul Bearer with Snake Eyes, and tonight we got a show here. If you watched the pay-per-view last night, you know this isn't just after the pay-per-view, but it's also before the next pay-per-view, which is Slam Havoc. And tonight, our general manager is coming down to the ring to make an announcement. At Slam Havoc, there will be a 16 tag team tournament for this trophy right here. The winners of this trophy can cash this trophy in at any time, anywhere, in between now and next Slam Havoc for the World Tag Team titles. Once it's cashed in, you will not see this trophy again until Slam Havoc. The teams will be announced at the end of the night, but at Slam Havoc, I will also have an announcement for a couple of people who are getting title shots. Well, there you heard it from our general manager. Blue Empire. Our general manager here at Blue Empire, Gabriel Rodriguez, will be in it telling us who those 6 teams are. He will also be announcing 2 matches, or number 1 contenders for 2 matches. If you notice there's something weird about our ring tonight, it's because one of our turnbuckle pads broke. We're hoping to fix it. If we can't fix it, then we'll probably have to buy a whole new set of them, which would give us a couple of extra. But right now, let's get the show on the road. And while we're on the conversation, these matches, with the exception of the world title match, was made by our new world champion, Austin Aries, because he had a stipulation saying if he won the world title, he gets to make matches for tonight. So introducing first, your cashing in champion, David Ring. Now I understand why they picked David Ring for the cashing in title. Because they don't want David Ring to have the cashing in title. There's the cashing in title belt. Because as long as Austin Aries is the world champion, if one of his guys hold the cashing in title, they're not going to cash in on him. And introducing his opponent, coming down the aisle, representing the Extreme World Order, New Jack. 1. He also made these non-disqualification matches. I find that kind of awkward that he would do that. 1, 2. You find it awkward too, wouldn't you? don't you? 1, 2, 3, your winner and new cashing in champion. New Jack. Now they got another title in their grasp. With New Jack holding the cashing in title, as long as Austin Aries is champion, he has no worries. Because he knows New Jack ain't going to cash it in on him. I don't know. I don't trust New Jack. Oh, you don't trust New Jack Snake Eyes? Oh. Every so often you hear me read something, then I'll say it again. That's because I'm reading what Snake Eyes is telling me. You're right, these guys aren't all that trustworthy. They're a bunch of pack wolves. Up next is the lightweight championship. Introducing first, the lightweight champion, Greg, the Hammer Valentine. Greg the Hammer Valentine has been lightweight champion for quite some time. Now, I don't know why they're gunning for the lightweight title, really. I think it's just because they don't like Greg the Hammer Valentine. There's the title belt. And his opponent, the newest member of the Extreme World Order, Roman Reigns. Of course, Roman Reigns, the turncoat, turned his back on Action Figure Wrestling last night. Turned his back on his tag team partner, Seth Rollins. 1, 2. In a brutal shame that he done just that. 1, 2, 3. Your winner and new lightweight champion, Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns had to win her house, he would be fired from Action Figure Wrestling. Now we're gonna get a match. I was supposed to have been at one of WWE's pay-per-views. At one of WWE's WrestleManias. And it ended up becoming a Hollywood backlot match. Razor Ramon versus Roddy Piper. Introducing first the Lucha Champion, Razor Ramon. And his opponent, Roddy Piper. 1, 1, 2. Razor Ramon trying to get him there. 1, 2, 3, your winner. A new Lucha Champion. Hot Rod, Rowdy, Roddy, Piper, the Hot Rod got a title now. That now gives them that gives them 7 titles total. That they're now holding. They're now holding 7 of our championships. Will this next one make 8? Will this next match make 8 championships held by the Extreme World Order? Up next is for the Action Figure Wrestling ECW Championship. Introducing first the Action Figure Wrestling ECW Champion, CM Punk. Everyone loves CM Punk. And there's the Action Figure Wrestling ECW title. And his opponent, representing the Extreme World Order, Shane Douglas. And Shane Douglas was the first member of the Extreme World Order to make their debut here in Action Figure Wrestling. He showed up at a pay-per-view. At one of our pay-per-views, and then he ended up one, two, and then he ended up bringing in New Jack. 1, 2, 3. And my God, man, they got another championship. Let's don't forget, Sunday is another pay-per-view event, and it's called Slam Havoc. And we can't forget about Slam Havoc. But now they got the ECW title. Will this make their 9th championship? Will they win the World Tag Team titles? This will be the in-ring debut of Paul London and the Brian Kendrick since they were traded a few months back. You're right on that. That's what made them part of the reason why a few years ago they were traded, about a year or so ago. And that's part of the reason why they turned their backs on Action Figure Wrestling. Introducing first your Action Figure Wrestling World Champion Tag Team Champions, PJ Black and EC3, and their opponents, Paul London And D, Brian Kendrick. Remember, this is a tornado, no rules match. One. It's an elimination match, which means both members have to be pinned or submitted. One, two on Paul London. 1, 2, 3 on Brian Kendrick. So Kendrick is eliminated. It's now in the favor of PJ Black in EC3. One. And EC3 kicked out 1, 2. PJ Black kicked out. PJ Black. He didn't follow up with the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Your winners and Still Action Figure Wrestling Tag Team Champions, EC3 and PJ Black. Paul London and Brian Kendrick, they got that old crap look on their faces. They know they screwed up. They know by losing, they're about to be punished by the other members of the Extreme World Order. And here they come. Just as we knew it. Here comes the new International Tag Team Champions, Tyrus and Adam Cole. And they're taking it to him. Adam Cole with Brian Kendrick up, power bombing. Tyrus throws down his half of the International Tag Team title belts. Powerbomb Paul London on top of Brian Kendrick. And he picks up his title belt. And he's looking, they're looking. You know what's next. As the door comes up, you knew this was going to happen. And here comes the ECW champion, Shane Douglas. He puts the door up in the corner. He's got him up. And he's got him up, and I'll go to school onto the door and off the top rope, and go to school onto Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick, Paul London, these two kids. These two guys, they don't have no way of fighting back. And here comes the European champion, Magnum TA. Tombstone to Paul London. Tombstone to the Brian Kendrick. A price for failure. And now comes Kenny Omega. And a one-winged angel to Paul London. One-winged angel to Brian Kendrick. Here comes the hot rod, Roddy Piper. Belly-to-belly suplex to Paul London. And the belly-to-back suplex to Brian Kendrick. Poor Paul London, poor Brian Kendrick. These two guys, they're taking a beating here. And they shouldn't be taking a beating. That's what happens when you get in with rubbish. And here comes their new lightweight champion. Roman Reigns, Superman punch. Superman punch. Now here comes our new Extreme Champion. Just incredible. Tombstone. Tombstone. And here comes our cashing in champion. He gently puts Brian Kendrick down. What is he doing? What is he doing? I think he's pointing out there for something. He's trying to get somebody to do something for him. What is he trying to get them to do? What are they looking for? Oh, no, don't tell me. They got a table. They got a freaking table. And they got that table set up. They're going to set that table up in the middle of the ring. Now they got Brian Kendrick on top of the table. Oh my God, don't tell me. He's got him up on the top rope. Put Paul London right through Brian Kendrick and through the table. This is just horrible. Them doing this is just a horrible, horrible thing. Wait a minute. Look who's coming down here. It's Jerry, the King Lawyer. Jerry the King Lawyer. He's back in action figure wrestling. Jerry the King Lawyer is part of action figure wrestling. And he's telling them off. He's telling them all to get out of here or else. So, look at that. They're getting out of there, but they're not going anywhere. They're standing at the end of the ring. They're standing around the edges of the ring. But they're only standing on those two sides of the ring. Paul London, Jerry the King Lawyer helps up Paul London and Brian Kendrick. They're thanking the King. Wait a minute. Oh, the King just clotheslined both of them. And now he's going out. The King has joined the Extreme World Order. Brian Kendrick and Paul London are being helped out. The stipulation for this match will be two sides of the ring will be filled with Extreme Championship members of the ECW, the EWO, the Extreme World Order. But the other two sides will be filled with action figure wrestling. And it will be a lumberjack match for the world title. What? I guess since the Extreme World Order was already out here, Gabriel Rodriguez decided he's going to make this a lumberjack match. Now look at the lumberjacks. Wait a minute. That's Nate the Great. Nate the Great is on one of the two sides for action figure wrestling. It's Lord Steven Regal. It's the Asian Cajun Wong Dong. It's the very man that he beat for the world title last night, Aaron Rex. It's CM Punk. And it's Razor Ramon. Who else is going to come out here? It's Greg the Hammer Valentine. David Ring. John Trent. The Gooch. The Chick Magnet. Derek Johnson and AJ Styles. They're representing action figure wrestling. in this matchup. Introducing first the Action Figure Wrestling World Champion, Austin Aries. So Austin Aries does not know who he's facing. We just showed you the world title. I was thinking it was going to be Aaron Rex since he lost the title last night. But no, his opponent, representing the Shield, Seth Rollins. It's Seth freaking Rollins. Seth Rollins going right after Austin Aries. 1, 1, 2. Seth Rollins tried to put him over the top rope. And look at that. David Rain just punched Austin Aries into the face. Of course he would. And look at this. He's being, Seth Rollins being choked out by New Jack. Austin Aries. 1, 2, 3, your winner. And new Action Figure Wrestling and still Action Figure Wrestling World Champion, Austin Aries. Aries wins the world title. He's working. Wait a minute. You knew Nate the Great wasn't going to let him get by with that. And Jerry the King Lawyer going after Nate the Great. Here comes AJ Styles after Jerry the King Lawyer. Adam Cole going after AJ Styles. Steven Regal with the Bulldog. And there goes New Jack. The Asian Cajun Wong Dong. Roman Reigns is in there now. Former world champion Aaron Rex. Just incredible. This is breaking down. CM Punk. Tyrus. Razor Ramon going after Tyrus. Kenny Omega. Greg the Hammer Valentine going after Omega. Shane Douglas going after the Hammer. David Ring going after Shane Douglas. Magnum TA taking down David Ring. John Trent going after Magnum TA. And of course, leave it to Roddy Piper to be the last man in there for his group. the chick magnet going after Roddy Piper. And look at this, the world champion. He rolls out the ring. And he's ordering his boys, come on, let's go, because he sees Gooch in there. And they're doing it. They're leaving. They're following his orders. They're leaving. Why? Because they know they're outnumbered right now. They're currently outnumbered. So they're leaving. Well, not all of them. World champions staying out here. But he's ordering the rest of his folks to the back. Is he better? You knew things were going to break down here. You knew from the moment they came out here that all heck was going to break loose. Because you knew they weren't going to work with action figure wrestling. Gooch is livid that they hold, what is it, 9 titles, I believe it is. They hold 9 championships right now. They hold 9 of our championships. That gives them 9 votes on matches. That gives them a voice as to if they want somebody from their group in one of their title matches or one of their title scenes. And that in itself is what's wrong with this particular group being part of action figure wrestling. And not everything is lost. There's our Commissioner Gabriel, General Manager of Blue Empire, General Manager Gabriel Rodriguez. What a match we just saw here. What a breakdown in law and order we just had here. But next Sunday's pay-per-view event. Action Figure Wrestling for the women's tag team titles. The Riot Squad will be facing these two individuals that are coming down to the ring now. Representing the Good Masters of the Universe, Tila and Shira. No way. Shira is now in Action Figure Wrestling. He-Man's sister, Shira, is now part of Action Figure Wrestling, and her and Tila are going to be facing the women's tag team champions at the pay-per-view. And the world champion, Austin Aries, will be defending his world title against Aaron Rex in a rematch for the world title. That's fair. That's very fair. And introducing all the tag teams for this matchup, for this trophy. Introducing first Jeff Hardy. I know you'd like for me to be in this match, but who's going to be my tag team partner? This person right here, Matt Hardy. What? The Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys are back together. Jeff and Matt are back together. The next tag team is a tag team you two guys know very well. Edge and Christian. Even though this is not a TLC match, it would be a great tag team matchup if I didn't include this tag team from Action Figure Wrestling Red Alert. Bully Ray and Devon, Team 3D, The Dudley Boys. The Dudley Boys. And representing Action Figure Wrestling Blackout in this tournament, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, American Alpha, team number 5, after the brutal beatdown they just received. Paul London and Brian Kendrick, here's your chance to prove y'all are a worthy tag team. And the 6th tag team, wait a minute, before you announce that, let's just say the 6th tag team is going to be representing the Extreme World Order, and you'll find out at the pay-per-view. You can't do that. Actually, I can do that. We hold 9 titles. We can do whatever the heck we want. And let's just say if my tag team fails in getting that trophy, they will meet with the same demise as these 2 dweebs right here. Can you believe the arrogance of Austin Aries? So who's this mystery tag team going to be? I don't have a clue. Well, Austin Aries, since you put it that way, since you want to be a jerk, instead of it being a tournament for this title, it's going to be an elimination battle royal where both members of the tag team have to be eliminated, and your guys are going to be the first tag team in the match. And that will be the first match on the pay-per-view. Whoa. He ticked off Alex Rodriguez, and Gabriel Rodriguez and Gabriel's letting him have it.